I think the goal for education is to provide opportunities for children to reach their full potential without any barriers, without any stigma, and for them to have the best foundation possible. I think education worldwide is facing challenges. There are very different challenges from one context to another. I'm not too familiar with the Moroccan context, but I've learned a lot from being here and listening to presenters on AI, on digitalization, on rural Moroccan schools. But still I have much more to learn. In terms of the challenges we are currently facing, I think we're facing two major ones. One is the global warming, the environmental and sustainability of education and our world. And the second one, I think, is the conflicts in the world. We have far too many conflicts in the world that many children are suffering. Of course, there's lots of social injustice within the education systems itself across the world for various reasons, which are very complex, and children around the world are suffering from this. Very complex question, but we have a duty to include marginalized children in the education sector. And we've seen some examples at Reknox where this is possible, and there have been some initiatives to make this possible. I don't think there's a one answer to this. It's very context-based. But I think as educators we all have a duty to at least try our best and provide opportunities and initiatives where we include marginalized children to have access to education. Education can have a massive impact on social, economic, impact on society. Through education we can do so many things. It's the barriers and challenges that different areas of the world are facing. And it's not only here in Morocco. In the UK we also have our own challenges, different challenges, but there are also marginalized children, and there are also children in poverty, but different. I think it's very different context. But education can have a massive impact, and we've seen some examples, and I've been speaking to some delegates today in their own professional field, in their as practitioners, how they do fantastic work in schools in Morocco and elsewhere, where children and young people have really been able to have a very good foundation, and as a result have really been able to reach very impressive milestones and make an impact in their local communities as well. Ministries and the governments and policymakers have a big influence and big responsibility in education and its impact on society, on the future societies. And they have a massive burden and accountability. Responsibility comes with accountability. And when we see social injustices, and when we see the inequalities of education across the world, it's easy for us to blame governments, and they should be blamed, and they should make change to a certain extent, but it's also individuals and a collective change that is needed, and that comes through open dialogues. It comes from social norms and values change, right? They change over time. What was acceptable 50 years ago is maybe what was not accepted 50 years ago is now accepted today. So societal norms and values change over time, and it can only happen through collective change. And by pressuring, and I talk from a European perspective, you know, in the UK we have quite often been able to put pressure on governments to make policy changes. Unfortunately, lots of policy change in where, for my context, happens when something really negative has happened, when it's already too late. And it's their duty, the governments and ministries, are to be able to implement change before something happens, to prevent it from happening, and to provide support and opportunities for young children who are taking the future roles in the society. Not only in Morocco, we need the investment, the financial investment and support across all sectors, not only education and health and transport and basic human rights. Not only in Morocco, it's everywhere at the moment where there's a big gap that needs to be filled, and unfortunately in the global system we have at the moment, it does need financial support and it needs investment. And I'm not a politician, so I don't know. I'm an activist actually, so I disagree with lots of government policies. That is my role. But there must be some also positive things that governments implement. And in Morocco, I've seen some very nice things from someone who's not from here, to see that doesn't come very often, to see every time a little bit of change. It may, for the people who live here, may feel very different. And I've learned a lot from people's perspectives here today and over the last 3 days, how policy impacts them on their daily lives as students and as professionals as well. But financial investment is needed. It's needed, especially in education, because if you look at the economic value, when you invest, you want a turnaround. And when you see investing in young people, these young people will give back to society. So it's a good investment. Absolutely. We definitely need different approaches, innovation. The problem is at the moment that with AI, things move so fast. It's very difficult for us to catch up. And if we're not innovative enough and almost rush in investing our time, not only money, investing our time and our effort in this, we may fall behind and faced with different challenges. AI is being used now, not only in education, it's being used even in warfare. We've seen how AI is being used in Gaza, for example. It's really scary how little we know actually about AI and the capabilities. And in terms of education, it could be used as a really resourceful tool. I keep being reminded in this conference as well, when the calculator came out, people were very worried that children would not be able to do maths anymore because of calculator. But nowadays it's been used as a tool to save time. It doesn't mean that children are not able to do maths anymore without it, but it's a tool that we use. And AI can very much be used as a tool. I think should be used as a tool and tool only, not take place of people who have creativity and are innovative. And so yeah, we definitely need to invest our time and effort into new approaches to this with a very fast new development that we say in English, jump on the train before it's too late. Yeah. It's been lovely over the last 3 days to be able to bring Reknox to Rabat and to hear so much about the research happening here, and from PhD students who have so many brilliant ideas and have a very solid kind of knowledge and expertise in their field. And I'm just really proud of all the young people who attended, and I feel very privileged to have been able to listen to their research, and also to come back to my birth town, birth city Rabat, and be able to just experience this knowledge exchange and create this platform here. And I hope that I continue with this and created lovely relationships and hopefully lifelong friendships from here.